Hello again. Now, the Presidential Climate Commission, in collaboration with the South African Youth Economic Council, will host the second annual Energy Summit on Youth and Just Transition Opportunities at the Sandton Convention Centre in Johannesburg tomorrow. This year's focus will be on the opportunities that exist in the just energy transition and emerging low-carbon energy sector in the country. The Energy Summit is also seeking to commemorate the historical struggles of women in South Africa to attain political freedom and equality, and most importantly, also to address the struggles that are faced by young people in areas such as economic justice and progress and equity in the country. Let's speak now to Lwazi Ntombela, the Vice President and Head of Business at the South African Youth Economic Council. Lwazi, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Dan. Greetings to you and greetings to all your viewers.
As I was reading the intro, two things are sort of coming to mind for me. First is this intersection, which you are highlighting about the struggles of women, you know, and being Human Rights Month. I just wanted to understand, where's the intersection with the energy sector?
So for a very long time, throughout the histories and throughout the history of South Africa, we've seen industries come and go, but the main focus on youth and women has been non-existent. So we've always seen the same players, especially white old men, being the one leading all these industries. We now look for a future which is intersectional, but also which includes young people, especially young black women. So as we go into this summit tomorrow, the focus will be on opportunities that will come out of the just energy transition, whether it's from wind energy, solar panel energy, or hydroelectric or hydrogen energy.
And opportunities for the youth and for women in particular.
Yes,
that's going to be the focus. So who's taking part in the summit this time around?
So we have called upon all youth across the whole of South Africa. We even have some coming from Limpopo all the way to Western Cape. We've bussed in people, we've flown in people. So everyone will be arriving today. They will be taking part in the summit, and the summit will conclude that there needs to be more skills pushed into this sector. There needs to be more young people pushed into this sector, and for the young people to be the main leaders of this sector.
Is it open to the public?
Yes, it is open to the public. So as like all of our events, if you're under the age of 35 or if you are young and interested in whatever we are talking about, if it's economic opportunities related, it's open and it's free for all young people of South Africa.
Okay, so the engagement is going to be taking a form of what? Of conversations, of debates, of working groups with young people taking part, or is it only largely going to be a plenary session type?
So it will be different types of conversations. We're going to have a plenary session, we're going to have breakaway sessions, but the main focus of the events is that coming out of this event, we've tabled to all private sectors that are there and to all government departments which will be there, that they need to make commitments towards empowering youth and especially young black women.
Yeah, I was going to be asking you what is going to measure the success, how are you going to measure the success of this conference? So you want commitments from government and the private sector?
Yes, so for example, at our last annual energy summits, which took place last year, we also forced companies and private sectors and government to commit to certain things, and we inspect that every quarter. How far are you with
Have
this?
they delivered? So
yes, some private companies have delivered. For example, Seriti has delivered on their promises that they will be incorporating more youth. Anglo America was there, they have delivered. Minar Coal and Company did deliver. So whenever we have a summit or energy summit or construction summit or whatever, we make sure that we tell the companies or private sector before they come on board that they need to make commitments, and we will be following up each and every quarter to see how far they are with their commitments. So that's what's going to happen tomorrow.
Are you, as a young South African, are you satisfied with the progress? You said you've named the number of companies who made certain commitments last year. You've been tracking them every quarter and every month, and you're seeing progress. As a young South African, are you satisfied with the scale of the progress?
So unemployment in South Africa still, for young people, still sits at 70%. We have not seen a recovery of our economy post-COVID-19. In fact, we've seen a decline within our economy. So at a small scale, yes, but at a larger scale, we are not happy with what's happening.
What would you like to see from this summit to scale up?
That's why we need to make sure that government changes its policies. For example, we need to allow more young people to be part of the bid windows which are announced by the DMRE. We need to have a stipulation at 30% saying that young people from all of these bid windows must be the ones who benefit. Private companies, whenever they need to procure anything, they need to include young people within their value chains. Otherwise, we are going to continue with the crisis that we are faced with of a youth unemployment rate of 70%.
Are you saying that 30% of opportunities in the big window opportunities should be reserved for young people?
Yes.
Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That 30%, what's informing it? What do you think it will help to achieve?
So currently, as we progress into higher and higher percentage numbers, we think that 30% is a good number to start off with. There are many young and upcoming emerging players in the renewable sector. We believe that young people should be prioritized, and we believe in state-led growth. So whenever there's going to be growth within this country, it needs to be led by the state. The state needs to force the arm of the private sector. The state needs to change its own policies to allow and afford the opportunity to young people to be included in all of these discussions and all of these economic opportunities.
I take it you, as the Youth Economic Council, will also lobby or put pressure on the state to change its policies.
Yes, indeed. So we will be having the state tomorrow. We will be instructing them that young people have not been part of your plans. Young people now need to be part of your plans. We cannot continue with the situation that we are faced with, where young people continue to fall into unemployment, to poverty, to drugs, and to all the social ills that face young South Africans today. We need to make sure that they are at the focus and at the center of all economic opportunities, because without young people, we do not have a future.
Yeah, and when you say young people, including women, and let's remember, of that 70% of unemployed youth, the majority are young black women.
Yes, indeed. So we need to focus. So tomorrow's session will focus on opportunities for young people, but specifically young black women. We need to make that categorically clear that our focus will be on young black women.
Yeah, I would like to chat to you after this conference to see really what kind of commitments you've achieved. But we wish you well. Thank you very much for coming through, Lwazi.
Thank you, Jan.
That's Lwazi Ntombela, the Vice President of the South African Youth Economic Council.